All right,
601.
Ted, you had a physical, and you are in terrible shape. And how long do you have? A couple weeks? Couple months?
He's not in terrible shape for a 90-year-old.
So here's
90-year-old what?
So my last physical was 2 years ago. So I saw the same doctor. I actually lost a pound. My blood pressure is totally normal.
Like off the tip of your...
She said, the doctor, she's a female doctor. She goes, wow, your skin's immaculate. You don't have any...
Your skin...
She said that? Yeah.
That's important at our age.
Did she say you wear makeup well, too? Your skin's
obviously,
immaculate?
I got a little dad bod going, and she goes, yeah, just get some exercise. Lift some weights and do some walk. I'm like, yeah. No shit.
Did you tell her you did lift weights like a year and a half ago? You say, for 3 months, I went like 7 times to go work out. Like a year and a half ago.
I did fess up a little bit about my alcohol. I mean, so I was embarrassed. So the main thing I was withholding was my alcohol consumption. And I said, yeah, honestly, and I still didn't disclose everything. But I said, I probably drink more than the average person. I said, but it doesn't affect me in the real world, as far as you know.
Did you ever see, there's a thing, the Detroiters, it's one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Okay.
This guy goes into the doctor and he says, and he asks him, he goes, how many do you drink? He goes, I'm not going to lie, 4 or 5. He goes, all right. He goes, 4 or 5 in a week. He goes, a week? he goes, and then he starts he just starts throwing his fingers up. And he goes, probably 11. He goes, you have 11 beers? He goes, you're counting beers too?
And then actually there's a thing on their screen where there's like little check boxes. So they're like, if you're like vaping,
closer to death, further from death.
They're like, so for example, like there's actually like categories for like CBC, vapes, THC, pens, and then like for the frequency. So there's a whole new category of stuff that they track.
Did you lie about that stuff?
No,
Ted?
I actually said I do have a THC pen, but this is true. I said I don't.
You only use it when you're awake.
It's legal in Illinois, Ted. You don't have to explain.
I said the first thing I said, hey, it's all illegal now, right? We're not like this is not under the cover of darkness.
I mean, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
Did you tell her the frequency with which you use it, like every hole or every other golf hole?
So here's the funny thing. This is the funniest thing I'll take away. She goes, when I said about the alcohol consumption, which I did slightly underreport, she goes, I think I'm
like lying to your doctor.
She goes, I think I'm going to give you a psychiatric referral. Sorry, she said that.
Psychiatric referral for what?
She goes, for addiction. And I said, I'm not addicted to anything. I said, I'm fine.
Did you tell her you can go at least a few minutes? Well, hold on. Were you drinking in the doctor's office?
No.
Because that would be a bad sign.
I said, I do it. I said, because, I'm trying. I told her about my disjointed sleep. I said, obviously, I have a hard time relaxing. I said, I don't feel stressed out per se. I can't really get 8 hours of sleep. That's impossible. So
based
the alcohol,
on your alcohol consumption.
Yeah, obviously, alcohol is a sleep disruptor. We know that. And I said, actually, I do it because it's just I like it, and it's when I just get bored. I'm not because it's not because I'm like. I guess
it's not like you can't stop. You can stop whenever you want.
Well, if they took it away, and I had none of it,
want to.
they took it all away. It's gone. I'm not going to look for it.
So this is what's messed up. So Pete called me the other day. He's still in Arizona, right? We got back. He called me, and we're a little bit older now, and we've had some friends that have passed away. Some bad stuff that has happened.
Yep.
So this is what Pete thinks is funny. Pete calls me up and he goes, "Hey, man," and he's getting real serious for just I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Blah, blah. He goes, I just. You guys were in town. I didn't want to tell you, but I went to the doctor. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, fuck, man, this is going to get bad. He goes, I didn't want to say anything while you guys were here. He goes, but I got a growth.
Pete?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
This is what he's telling me.
Right.
He goes, I got a growth on my nuts, one of my nuts.
Okay.
And I said, oh, fuck. He goes, yeah. He goes, and the doctor said I had to stop masturbating. And I said, she did? He goes, yeah, because I was getting a checkup. And I was like, wait a minute. I go, and I stopped. I'm like, is this a joke? I go, are you telling me the world's shittiest ball cancer joke? And I'm like, but I'm like, here's the thing. You got to make it sound like a joke. We're not 25 anymore, right? We're not like when you were 25, you were immortal, right? There was nothing that was going to kill you ever. Mm-hmm. You knew that. I mean, still to this day, there's probably not a 25-year-old on the planet that isn't thinking at this exact second, oh, man, jump off a building.
Well, because rent's
into a waiting pool.
Yeah, because rent's like 40% of their income these days. I don't blame them. So
No.
Fucking insane.
No, but it's you're missing the point, Ted.
Yes,
They
he
think
did that
they're
on purpose,
invulnerable.
man.
I mean, they just don't think you. I mean, at 25, you just don't believe you're going to die.
Well, as a PSA, actually, I did hear.
Tell them you are going to die.
No, this is real. That I guess like jerking off a lot and masturbation is actually good for your prostate health. It actually is good for your prostate health. So to avoid prostate cancer,
that's
you
why
should.
my prostate 107%.
That's why. That's
how
why you.
healthy
That's
I
why you
am.
don't need any saw palmetto.
107%.
That's why you have balls of steel.
You don't have to worry about prostate cancer, Matt. You're doing just fine.
Yep, absolute. I mean, just that's the absolute stone.
I don't know what's going to kill you, but it won't be your ball sack.
2 years between checkups, huh, Ted? That's did they get you with your colonoscopy? You did
Actually,
that
I did ask
before?
about the colonoscopy, and so I got a referral.
Can we not do this?
No, we got to.
No, I'm going to get one and then just do some blood work, and they're going to do an electrocardiogram for the heart and blah, blah, blah. But actually, I'm in better shape now than I was 2 years ago, metrics-wise, and I haven't really done anything other than just golf
what
and
about
fuck
the
around.
American system? Maybe metrically you might be better.
I'm sorry, this is the metric system.
Yeah, but there is
This
no
kilometers.
way.
This is kilometers.
There is no way on God's green earth that you are healthier today than you were 2 years ago.
On paper, I am. I'm sorry.
Heart rate,
I am sorry.
blood sugar levels, no
Blood sugar.
pre-diabetes. You know, lost a pound. I mean,
Lost an entire pound.
But
better than gaining 10.
But for 2 years, I mean, so in 2 years, I went down. So I'm actually in the 170s, which I haven't been in the 170s since I was in my 20s or 30s.
really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the 180s.
Yeah,
and
but you know what? Because you're just like you're a pussy though.
I'm just a blob
You
of
have,
nothing.
you have little pussy arms, you have little pussy legs. You don't work out.
No, I know.
So,
I'm just a blob of nothing.
Yeah,
I
you're
know.
just kind of
I
a-
know, I'm
So
just
Ted's only exercise is golf.
Yeah.
I mean, if you call it. I mean, he does
I mean, when
swing
you're
a lot.
walking, when you're walking 18 holes, that's 6
And
miles of
you
walking.
you swung 121 times last time we played,
So,
right?
so the funny
that's a
thing,
lot of
so
swings.
my one buddy, Stan, had a cart the other day, and he asked me to ride with him on the back nine, and I mean, it was tempting because I was a little bit tired, but I declined because honestly, that is my only exercise these days. So I had to get my steps in, man.
Good for you.
I had to get
Good
my
for
steps
you.
in, yeah. So
That's great.
I still failed. I still lost everybody.
All right, here, I got a thing. Have you guys ever heard of cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome? Never heard of it?
Nope, not today.
Okay. So it is a condition. It is caused by long-term heavy cannabis use and is characterized by cycles of severe nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. And it occurs in chronic users. The only cure is complete cessation of cannabis. No cannabis whatsoever.
That's a lot of weed.
Right. But here's what I would say. Is this really the problem? Because all of these things would actually describe getting high and going to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was actually tempted to go there.
Or not taking your fiber.
Yeah. The nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. I mean, that's Taco Bell, White Castle, Domino's. I mean, there's a version for all of
The
them.
cure for that is a burrito supreme at 2 a.m.
And a cup of
and
coffee.
some nachos.
And a cup of, oh my God. If you had a burrito supreme and a cup of coffee, I mean,
You're going, baby. You're going.
wow. Could you imagine what that would feel like? Sitting on the crapper, you would be in such insane, awful pain. And you'd be so happy that you're crapping. Have you ever done that? Like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm crapping. I was like, oh man, this is awful. I'm like, this is so great.
Because you're empty. It's like you're getting it all out of your system. Of course.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It just
There's nothing like taking a shit when you really got to take one,
Yeah.
or going to sleep when you're really tired. You know,
man,
those
that
are.
was the last 2 nights. Absolute dead dog tired.
Yeah, just laid in bed, just like, oh.
Well, it's nice when you're completely emptied out. You know, you don't have that.
Not
gas
saying one
or
has to precede
bloating.
the other,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
those are two really good.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. Last 2 nights of sleep, I'm riding high, and I woke up early this morning.
Nice.
I hit the gym
Yeah.
hard.
It felt good, right?
I did a little work over at Dick's.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, and a guy almost made me cry in Dick's. I told
So
Scott,
were you counseling a customer?
no, he comes in and he's all excited about golf, and he says,
good.
he says, I just got cataract surgery. He goes, they did one eye last week. He goes, they did the other eye this week. He goes, I can see things I haven't seen in 25 years. And he's telling me all.
Can you see the scorecard?
Well, he hasn't played golf. He hasn't done anything.
Oh.
So he's telling me he wasn't able to play golf because he couldn't see the ball. He couldn't tell where it was on the ground.
Wait, can I
even.
ask you a question? Do you wear a name tag at work?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I don't have the correct name.
No, but it says Mike. No, but does it say like what your title is, like on
Mike.
the name tag, or it just says your name?
It's mine says Matt. I'm a golfing associate, and my passion is golf.
That's a lot of shit to fit on a name tag.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah. But I wanted to. So I wanted to do like I do at the golf course when I pick up the phone at Chevy, and I'm like, "Thank you for calling the Traditions at Chevy Chase. This is Tina speaking. How can I help you?" And I say a girl's name, and I only do it when people are around and hearing. And I get this. And they do this. Tina, can I get a tea time?
You knock them off their block right at the beginning.
Right.
So tell me about this customer who needed your assistance, please.
So he's telling me that he hasn't been able to play golf in 25 years. He was very good. He said he played in college. He couldn't see the ball, and today is the first day he can actually see a golf ball. And he couldn't swing a club, but he can putt. So we got a putting green in the back there. So I gave him a couple of golf balls, and I gave him a putter. And I said, "Do whatever you want, man." I said, "This is amazing." I go, "I'm glad I can be here to hear this story." And I didn't really give a shit, but I was really playing.
If he's a former college player, he's probably pretty good.
Yeah, but it was, and then he just kept telling me these things, and he's so fucking excited. I mean, he was out of bounds, like ecstatic. And
so
then
he had cataract surgery yesterday, and today
on the other eye,
he's at Dick's looking at golf clubs and trying to figure out what he can do. He can't swing because his eyes are just worked on.
Can't swing a club, but
so
he can putt.
He can putt, but the first place he goes is to Dick's.
The first place he goes to the golf store.
Actually, that's pretty cool in a way. So I mean, that's a man
it
with
was
some
really
burning
cool.
desire.
And here's the part that made me laugh and stopped me from crying after this, because we're talking for like 10 minutes. Right, and I was like, "Thanks for sharing this."
It's a long time.
And I'm like, "This is a really cool thing that I can be part of this and everything." And he goes, "And you know what's really great?" And he goes, "Pretty soon, I'm going to be able to kick the shit out of my asshole son-in-law and his dick father."
See, that's his motivation. That's his motivation.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow!"
He's going to kick the shit out of him on the golf course.
On the golf course. On the golf course. Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes,
So
they
he's-
talk shit about golf all the time,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to do anything about it.
He hasn't been able to play golf in 25 years.
25 years.
That's a long time. I mean,
What the fuck took him so long to get his eyes fixed?
Yeah.
Well, what was he? I mean, his eyes weren't fucked up for the last 24 years. So I mean, what was he just?
I don't know. Check your mics real fast. There's a little bit of buzz, Scott. It's got to be yours.
Mine's fine.
Just kind of.
Mine, I hear a little something.
Yeah, tap your mic a little bit or something. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Whoa.
I think it's when you're banging the table. Something's going on with the connection. I got to check the connection.
High tech.
Like I said, it's one of those things that all this shit only happens, like, not when I'm going through things or like redoing, only during the show.
So to end the story, you talked the guy up. You made him feel good. You gave him a little confidence,
Yeah,
and then
and I
you
told him
and
that-
then you upcharged him and sold him $1,000 set of.
I told him, I
TaylorMades.
said he told me about his old clubs and everything. I said, well, when you're ready to come and get new clubs, he goes, come on in.
Yeah.
He goes, we'll charge you full retail price.
Well, shit. If he didn't
I'll
go
give
for,
you the Matty
if
discount.
If he didn't go for 25 years, he's using fucking Ben Hogan's clubs from 1960. Then He's got
Yeah,
some
well.
blades.
He did mention that he had some old golf clubs.
Well, no shit. It's been
So
25
I was
years.
just like, wow.
Well, he better hang on there and just make sure that cataract surgery is successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I told him. He goes,
usually it
I
is.
should
I
be
mean-
laying down right now. And I was like,
Nah, that's only for a retina.
well, that
That's
seemed like
only
he was
for
coming
retina
on to me.
detachment.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it felt like he was coming on to me. I'm like, there's no bed in here. I go, there is one upstairs, but no.
What do you want?
You're not my type.
You want to spoon you? Want to lay down
I-
on you?
He's looking for any discount he can get.
I don't know, Ted. I don't.
That was a grown man looking for help, and you gave him the positive reinforcement he needed. So you did your job.
I did.
Golf associate.
That's what I do.
Dicks.
That's what I do. Yeah.
I look forward to future stories of Matt's interactions at the sporting goods store, Dick's. That's going to be
I'm
interesting.
going to go there as a mystery shopper one time, but unofficially, and I'm just going to say, hey, my game is in complete disarray. I want this man to help me with management watching.
I have a credit card, and
want
it's
a
got no limit.
I want a complete fitting. It's going to take at least 2 hours. What can you do for me?
What have you done for me lately? All right. I got to get some stuff done. If you enjoyed this episode, if you learned something today, please consider following the show, subscribing to your favorite podcast platform, or leaving a 5-star review. This helps the podcast more than I can say, and this allows us to reach more and more people and would mean the world personally to Scott. He's really intense on this. Visit us at our website at voteforted.com. That's FORE, or just Google the Real 3 Idiots podcast.
Come on, people. Let's hear from you.
All right. Let's see. A couple things. Oh, this is the Real 3 Idiots podcast, and today in history, in 1950, and I bet you guys didn't know this, Chuck Cooper became the first African-American player drafted into the NBA.
I think I might have heard that, but yeah, I don't remember.
Nobody knows
but-
that one.
Yeah.
Everybody knows one guy, Jackie Robinson, right?
For baseball.
baseball,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess a few years later, about 8 years later, Willie O'Ree became the first black dude in hockey. And then football, they went all the way back into the 20s. They stopped fucking. They didn't fuck around.
Yeah,
if you're bashing the shit out of people, they didn't give a shit who you were.
Right.
As long as you could bash the shit out
What
of
year
people.
was that for the NBA again?
1950.
That's actually not that when you think about it. I mean, when was basketball invented? Like 1800s, right? James Naismith invented basketball in like the 1890s or something?
Don't know.
The fact that it was in the 50s, which was a very polarizing decade, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of funky. All right, before we get to Ted's tip, some weird stuff. In Wisconsin, they started putting decimal places on their speed limit signs. Tap that again, man. It's bugging the shit out of me.
There it just went off.
They're putting the decimal places on their speed limit signs, and they're saying that it makes people stop and think. Yeah, and I was thinking only dumb people in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Only the people in Wisconsin be like, well,
So
Bobby, does that say 152 miles an hour or 15.2?
Well, is this Wisconsin or West Virginia?
Yeah, I don't know, man. As soon as people in Wisconsin get drunk, I imagine they start getting accents.
I've never seen a speed limit sign with a decimal point. So what is it? 25.6?
Yeah. Colorado does it too, I guess.
You sure it's not like the mile marker?
No. It's a real thing. So, by science wise, it's literally the concept of, it will go ahead and
Disrupt your thinking?
Yeah, disrupt your thinking and make you slow down.
No shit.
Like-
I can kind of see it, right? It's weird. It's different. What does that 0.6 really mean? Am I going higher or lower?
You can you feel like that's a thing? Yeah, it's just going to keep on doing it. I'm going to have to do something about
So it's
that.
funny you should mention that. So I just saw this article the other day. I guess I don't know what state it was, but I guess they had the automated speed cameras like in a construction zone. So there's obviously no live cop there with a speed gun. And I guess like people, they weren't even getting like one ticket. Like so one guy, he got like 3 tickets in the same zone. So it turned out to be like $280 for 3 tickets. And I guess like so 26,000 people ended up getting tickets through this speed camera. Him and only like a
in New Jersey.
Yeah, him and only a handful
Over here by St. Juliana.
Yeah. Him and only a handful of people appealed it, and I guess like the Supreme Court in New Jersey or some like governing body ruled that it was like unconstitutional what they were doing because there was no way to challenge it, and they're basically going to dismiss everything. It was almost like just a money making scheme versus like we're just doing this for public safety, which is a lot of what
Teddy,
speed cameras
in
are.
25 days. Yeah. In 25 days, they gave out over 26,000 tickets.
It's a revenue source.
And it says, I think it was in 2024 or 2025.
Where was
and
it
they
at?
made in
Somewhere
New Jersey,
somewhere in New Jersey.
Rochester, New Jersey,
Okay, yeah.
I-490.
Yeah.
They gave over 1,000 tickets a day through the automated thing, and they made in that time over $1.3 million in fines.
But people were getting multiple tickets in the same zone. So instead of getting like one ticket for speeding, so you'd get 3 tickets, which doesn't seem.
How's that even possible?
Well, that's why. So like I said,
I think there's cameras set up
was
over
all
a
automated?
span of
Yeah.
it's all automated, but over a span of like 6 miles, so you could get one. If you just kept going and going and going.
So out of 26,000 people who got tickets for that, whatever that period of time was, I think like 25 or 26 people appealed it. And then one of the cases, when it got to the Supreme Court, actually said this is all unconstitutional. So they threw that case out. So now that opens the door for all the other cases to be thrown out because it's not really about safety at that point. It's just a money-making scheme by the state of New Jersey.
It's ingenious.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. If you appealed, like if you went to court, the fines were triple. So out of 26,000, only like 500 people even went to court.
Here's what happened. Actually, so the guy who appealed it went to the court, and I guess the judge, the prosecutor, and the stenographer were all in cahoots together and completely like just shut this guy down and his attorney. And I guess like so he appealed that, and it turned out, like I said, because they're all in bed together. That's the reason it got dismissed, not because of the ticket itself, but because it's like they're colluding with each other to not even give like a fair hearing. For example, the fucking stenographer is asking the plaintiff questions as if she's the judge or the prosecutor, and she has no authority to do anything. So yeah.
Well, it's just New Jersey. I mean, in New Jersey, do they even know? I mean, New
Jersey is one of the most expensive places to live in the United States, and which is unbelievable to me.
How do you get multiple tickets in a 6-mile stretch?
Well, that's why they appealed
by driving really fast.
That's ingenious.
Well, that's
really
why they appealed
is.
it. Yeah,
It is.
so.
3 speed zones back to back to back.
It's the smartest way to do it.
Yep.
That's my way to do it. Okay, let's see. We got to get to your tip, Teddy, because we have our guest waiting. And I'm always nervous when you give a tip if the guest will just be like, "That's so ridiculous, I'm out."
Well, are they going to leave the show because of it?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's what makes me nervous. Okay. Let's see. Ted's Tips is brought to you by Johnny's Used Sex Dolls. At Johnny's Used Sex Dolls, you get all of the best models at a fraction of the cost. They've got sex dolls with 2 boobs, 3 boobs, and all the way up to the deluxe 7-boobed behemoth.
Whoa.
They've got big sex dolls, little sex dolls, even midget sex dolls. They don't ask questions. They just sell sex dolls. All Johnny's used sex dolls are guaranteed 99% disease and fluid free. Sorry, fellas, as you know, as all of our customers know, there's a 3 vagina limit on all the dolls. And don't forget Johnny's clearance section. But remember, in the clearance section, we can't guarantee race and size of your doll, and it may or may not have an asshole. And remember, the best part about Johnny's used sex dolls, they can't talk. So go to johnnysusedsexdolls.com. That's, I got to be honest. I mean, once they have like an animatronic one.
And that's not that far away.
It's not.
Well, it's already here. It's all in China now. It's just a matter of time before it goes mainstream.
All right, Teddy. 216th time. Wow.
It's a lot.
God damn.
It's a lot of reps.
Yeah, just think how many of those are abject failures. Just think about that for a second. All right. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Ted, I got a problem. Scott says this is unsolvable, by the way.
Yep.
Ted, I got a problem. For the last 4 years, we've done a really fun couples trip to Cancun. It's 5 days. We rent the same house on the beach, and it's so much fun. He said fun twice, by the way. About a month after last year's trip, my good friend Ron, and this is funny, it's in quotation marks. So this guy's telling the story. If Ron is a listener, Ron's going to be so dumb he can't figure it out. He just changed the name. Okay? Ron, in quotation marks, broke up with his girlfriend, and a few months later, he started dating Angie. Angie is also in quotation marks, so Ron and Angie cannot figure out who they are. My girlfriend hates Angie and says she will not be going to Mexico if Angie's going. I've tried everything. Help me talk my girlfriend into going, and no, I can't go without her. Save my vacation. Henry, 36. Man, I'm going to mess. Sammamish,
Washington.
Sammamish, Washington.
Okay, cool. All right, buddy. Hey, actually, I thought this was kind of an easy tip, to be quite honest with you. I mean, so basically my take on it is that they already went on the last trip, and then so Ron broke up with his girlfriend, and now he's got the new girlfriend, but this is before they went on the next trip, so the new girlfriend has yet to go on a trip, right? Yeah, that's what
the new one. Yeah, they've been going. So there's this is like they've gone 5 years.
Right, but there's no precedent for the new girlfriend. So there's just a couple.
Yep.
Ron, the old girlfriend, but the new girlfriend has yet to go on a trip. So yeah, so this is easy. So in my opinion, just for 1 year, just to kind of run some interference, just say, hey, you know what? We don't have the funds to go for next year, so we won't be going. That's a lie, obviously, and then just go somewhere else just for the 1 year. And who knows if Ron's going to stay with Angie?
Wait a minute, but. Who's the guy?
Why is your first response always to create a lie?
Henry wants to go with his buddies.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend won't go.
Well, again, what's more important, your girlfriend's feelings or going on this trip to Cancun? So it comes down to this. Okay, Cancun's great, but there's no other places in the world that are similar to Cancun. You can't rent a house anywhere else.
It's not where they're going. It's the fact that he wants to go with the other 3 couples.
Right.
Okay. He doesn't want to exclude any couples.
Right.
And he needs his girlfriend to man up and go with so that all 8 of them go. It's not where they're going.
Wait, isn't it just
it's the fact that she hates Ron's new girlfriend.
Yeah, well, hate's a strong word. So the bottom line is this.
It's pretty strong.
What's more important? Your destination trip once a year.
She's
or
not
your
going,
girlfriend.
Ted.
Yeah, exactly. So she's not going.
And he's not going to go without her.
Oh, well, then that means something has to change. So you just answer the question. So something's got to change.
And you know what would help? You know what he could do? He could ask somebody for help on how to change that and fix it.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, but you're not doing anything. You're literally stating once again, you're just stating the problem.
What you're going to do is, since the new girlfriend, Angie, has yet to go on a trip because it sounds like they went on the last trip, and then after
Angie
that trip,
has not gone.
At some point, Ron broke up with his girlfriend that the other that the girl liked. So then there's this new girl that
you're just
she
repeating
like.
the question. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
He's just getting the facts
so when
squared
next
away.
year rolls around, like I said, since there's no precedent for this new girlfriend, just change the itinerary. Just say to your friend Ron, whatever his real name is, just say, hey, you know what? This year, unfortunately, we can't make it to Cancun as much as we want to because of this, that, or the other thing.
Who's we can't make it? Henry and his girlfriend?
Yeah, Henry and his girlfriend.
But Henry wants to go.
I know, but just do something different because is keeping the peace with your girlfriend more important than Ron's feelings and Angie's feelings? And if the answer is yes, then you're going to make a slight adjustment. It doesn't mean you can't go on vacation. You're not breaking rocks in the hot sun. You're just going somewhere else. Go to like Southeast Asia. Take a Carnival
so
cruise.
Now Henry's
Take
got
a
to
Viking
go.
cruise.
Henry's got to go with his girlfriend, just the 2 of them by themselves.
That's fine. Just for one, or just go somewhere. Yeah, just for 1 year. Because chances are, if this other woman, Angie, sounds like she's kind of toxic, perhaps. Or I don't know if it's a personality thing, but she'll probably be gone by the next year anyway. That's a long time, So just play the long game.
So you don't think
Play the
anybody's
long
going to
game.
find out, like they're not going to get together and say, hey, why didn't you guys really go? It's like, oh, my girlfriend,
Well,
whatever. He
you know
didn't give
what?
her name.
Loose lips sink ships. Keep a secret. It's not that hard,
I agree with everything Ted said.
Obviously, somebody knows what happened to Nancy Guthrie. Nobody's saying shit about that.
Yeah, there's a new blood splatter.
Where the fuck is she?
Yeah, she's long
Where the fuck
gone.
is she? She's been gone for like months. It's like the fucking Lindbergh baby
So
kidnapping.
you're comparing, but Henry doesn't. Henry understands he could do that. He actually wants you to help him. You have no way that you could. Nothing you could give to actually talk Henry. That could give Henry help to get his girlfriend
Look,
to go.
let me just tell you something. When a woman has her mind set on something where like she's adamant about it, you can convince her, but it's still a losing game. Even if she agrees with you, I guarantee you she's going to hold a level of resentment against this guy, and that's going to poison their relationship down the road. The best thing to do...
It's going to make the trip shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, so even if you convince her to play nice in the sandbox, again, when there's a level of animosity, and I don't know what the deal is, but let's just assume she has a deep-seated dislike for this woman. Not only is she not going to enjoy herself, she's going to punish Henry for it. She's not going to punish Angie for it.
Who gives a fuck about Henry? She's going to punish you.
She's going to punish. Yeah. So his girlfriend's
he's
going to
gonna
punish
get-
him. Yeah. So basically, so what's more important? So it's kind of like helping yourself before you help others. You got to appease your girlfriend because she's more important than Angie or your buddy. So again, a little misdirection. You're still going on a trip with your girlfriend. Just go somewhere else for 1 year if it means that much to you, and then maybe by the next year, that new girlfriend's gone. Problem solved.
Just tell Ron, dude, it ain't gonna work out this year. We're gonna go do something on our own.
Yeah, just say, hey,
you don't have to make up a big lie.
Exactly.
and
We're
all
getting
this
we're getting
bullshit.
serious. We want to have a trip just a me and my girlfriend trip to wherever.
So at no point should Henry mention, if he says to Ron, if he just mans up like what Scott said, he says, hey, we're not going to make it.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's not the fact that my girlfriend thinks your girlfriend's a bitch. No way. It's not that at all.
yeah. Obviously, you're not. I mean,
If he's
like
a
I
good
said,
friend, you can tell him that.
Yeah, if he's a good friend, you might be just say, hey, my girlfriend has some serious personality issues with your girlfriend. Through no fault of your own, of course. You could say that, but again, the path of least resistance is just to simply say, hey, for whatever reason, we just can't make the trip this year. Our apologies. Then do your own thing, man. And then by next year, if she's still around for whatever reason,
maybe one of
make an
them will be
adjustment.
gone.
Yeah, one of them. I mean, Henry's girlfriend might be gone.
Yeah.
Ron's girlfriend might be gone. Both of them might be gone. Maybe Ron and
Henry
the other guy,
hook up.
Will hook up. It'll be like a BrokeBack Mountain thing. They're going on a trip together, and they can't quit each other. I don't know. I'm out of ideas.
I think everything is on point there,
Brokeback,
Ted.
yeah.
That's good advice.
And that is that. You know what? And the Brokeback part is an option. You just, Henry, maybe you want to. And I'm not judging you in any way, shape, or form. But maybe you want to tell Ron, hey Ron, why don't you leave your girlfriend at home? I'll leave my girlfriend at home. And you know what? Let's make this an explorative.
We'll go play some grab ass in the bush,
Vacation.
whatever. Yeah,
Let's go
exactly.
golfing
Let's go
and
golfing.
have a good time.
See now, and okay, so now I always wonder what our guests, if he or she, whoever they are, when they hear your choices, when you hear your tips, if they decide that that's a good idea. So we'll see in just a. Oh, there. You know what? It looks like
There he is.
It looks like Steve is on. Steve, if you were in that situation, would you go on force your girlfriend to go on vacation or just do something else? Did you like Teddy's idea?
I have learned from experience, never, ever expect her to do something she doesn't want to do.
Yes, 100%.
Told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's gonna make the whole trip shit, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, "Why
Well,
did I
it's
do
not
that?"
even about the trip. It's about after the trip. I guarantee you, she's going to hold a level of resentment against him that's going to poison their
You
relationship.
keep
There's
worrying
gonna be
about
some
you keep
long-term
worrying about the other
residual.
guy. Who cares about
No,
the
I'm
other
saying
guy?
no. I'm saying fuck the other guy. I'm saying worry about your girlfriend more if she's a priority to you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right. You know,
It's just the guy. Fuck his feelings. He'll be back.
fuck his-
He'll be back. Fuck his feelings.
Guys
you know what
don't
everybody
have-
has?
Just buy him a beer.
Everybody has feelings, and nobody gives a shit about it.
Just rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
All right, this is awesome. Our guest this week is the director of the International Yo-Yo Federation, and in 2020 was inducted into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. Please welcome to the show the great Steve Brown.
Well,
Steve,
welcome.
very
Howdy.
impressive.
Welcome,
Hi
welcome.
there.
Wow. Okay. And this is kind of wild. Now, Steve and I talked a little bit a couple weeks ago, okay? And the reason I contacted Steve was I ran across a video of, and I think I sent it to you, Scott. I think I sent both you guys, of the 2025 World Yo-Yo Championships in Prague. And I will say this. I was completely and totally blown away by what those guys were doing. Steve, that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is. it is. Here's the thing. I've been in this industry for 30 years now, and I still, at the world level, watch what they're doing, and I have absolutely no goddamn idea how it's happening.
I said the same
Like,
thing when
it is
watching the video.
legitimately insane, the level of play. And then when you stop and like take a step back, and you're like, also, it's a goddamn yo-yo. Like, the fact that they're doing something this complicated, this amazing, this athletic, this interesting with a wheel on a string, the ridiculousness of it also makes it that much more interesting.
It really does. And listen, if you're listening to this, okay, you could, and it's not going to hurt our listenership, but turn the show off right now. Go to Google, type in a 2025 World Yo-Yo Championships, okay, and watch for 5 minutes, then turn this back on, and it will give you a completely different perspective of what we are actually talking about, because it's like, you know what I equated it to? It was like if you could watch Picasso paint. Did he paint? I don't know. I don't know what he did. Was sculpting, whatever. If you got to watch him do it, and then he did it super fast in 3 minutes.
I was watching the recap of the 25 event.
There's a real specific beauty to watching anybody who has truly mastered anything. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, honestly, I was on a promotional trip in Singapore, and I was hanging out in Takashimaya Plaza, and I was like in between shows, and I sat for 30 minutes and watched a guy wash windows because he was fucking amazing at it. Like, incredible. Like, the way that he was doing it, like the speed, the smoothness of it. I'm just sitting and watching, and I'm like, that is the best window washer I've ever seen in my life.
That's amazing.
So there's just something about watching someone like at the pinnacle of whatever it is they're doing that's just enthralling to me.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? That's the only reason I watch porn. It really is. It's the only reason. It's not for what everybody thinks. It's just to watch someone who's really good at what they do.
This guy's got two yo-yos.
Yeah.
He doesn't have just one yo-yo. He's got two.
Yeah.
And they put it in their mouth with the string and around their head. I mean, it was like I watched the recap video from the 25 and I couldn't take my eyes off it. I was like, I watched it a couple of times and it was amazing. Really, really fucking crazy.
All right, now this is wild. So Steve and I have something in common. We are both in a Hall of Fame.
Oh, jeez, no, not again.
What? I'm in the 16-inch softball Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying is we have something in common. So
yeah, the Park District Hall of Fame.
It's still a Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
still Hall of Fame. Except had to beat
Let
somebody.
me ask you this, Scott.
Yeah.
Scott.
No, I'm not in any Park District Hall of Fame.
You
I'm
just
not.
list all your Hall of Fames if you'd like. Go ahead. Because I mean, Steve, I'm going to mute all of us, and then Scott's just going to list all the Hall of Fames that he's.
I don't have any.
Local
I don't have any.
Village Park Ridge type of.
It was for the city, goddammit.
Oh yeah, city of what?
Chicago.
People in the city,
8 million people, pal. 8 million people.
Okay.
All right, Steve, let me ask you this. When you're standing on the stage, about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I'm assuming you're getting a gold-plated yo-yo. Is that what you guys get? Some kind of...
No, I think we got like a patch or something. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's... Yeah, well, so there's like a long history of like award patches in yo-yoing going back to like the 1920s.
Oh, okay.
So like starting in like the 1920s, 1930s, they would have these like oversized embroidered like, you know, patches, and it would have like the date, and it would say like Duncan Yo-Yo Champion, and they usually like fairly large. So there's like a whole history of like award patches for yo-yoing. So when we say like, oh, we got a patch, it's not completely random.
Got it.
It
That
is.
makes sense. That's cool.
Okay, so when you're standing... but when you're standing there, let me ask you this. When you're standing there, are you like, fuck, I'm great? Like, before you're going to walk out, I'm fucking great, I deserve this. Or are you saying to yourself, I can't believe that I'm about to go into the Yo-Yo Hall of Fame?
I'll be really honest with you. What I'm thinking is I know all the other people who vote for this, and I'm not that impressed.
Wow.
First time on an international...
I'm very jaded about it. It is one of those things where it's very sweet. Like it is genuinely like it's very kind. It's very sweet that, you know, a bunch of other people in the industry, a bunch of my friends, a bunch of my peers like decided to you know, heap this on me. But I'll be real honest, like I've got the Donald F. Duncan Excellence Award. I've got, you know, the National Yo-Yo Master Award. I've gotten a bunch of awards. They're all sitting in a box in my garage. And it doesn't like, there's no point in the last 30 years where I've really felt especially validated by any kind of awards for this, because I've always valued the actual play more than anything else.
Damn.
Okay.
I've always
Man after
been,
my
I was
own
one of those
heart.
people that was always really obsessed with the tricks. Like, I didn't care if I won a contest. I cared if I could hit this trick and could I come up with something cooler again and again and again and again. So I was always obsessed with the act of doing it rather than what anybody else thought about it.
No, that's a great attitude because, I always heard this, regardless what sport it is, like winners are execution orientated and losers are results orientated. So if you execute, the results take care. I mean, whatever your report card is at the end, whoever judges you, whatever, but as long as in your mind you did the best you could, that's where the validation comes from, in my opinion. Regardless of what sport it is,
And I mean, the people who, so there's, you mentioned earlier that, this guy had 2 yo-yos, this guy had 3. There's 5 different styles of play at yo-yo competitions. Okay. So there's 1A, which is single yo-yo. There's 2A, which is 2 yo-yos, but looping style tricks. There's 3A where it's 2 yo-yos, but it's string style tricks. So the yo-yos are landing back on the string and the tricks get really intricate. There's 4A, which is off string. And what that means is the yo-yo is actually not attached to the string. It like flies free from the string. They do a bunch of tricks with it, and then they snag the string around it to wind it back up.
Whoa. And
then there's 5A, where the yo-yo is not tied to your hand. It's instead tied to a small like counterweight. So this counterweight is basically on the other end of the string, and you play with the yo-yo, and then you can actually release the weight while you're playing with the yo-yo.
And so it's so and just so and people, you got to watch this. It's gonna make it cool. It's never on your finger. It's just this string that's randomly there. Now
they're flipping the weights are back and forth, and
Now I'm gonna blow your mind a little bit more. Guess who invented 5A?
Steve.
Nice.
How did you come up with that?
That's like
so that's the thing is
worthy.
that's part of like my entire journey in all of this, is that I was always obsessively trying to figure out how to I wanted to make yo-yoing look more interesting, because I got into yo-yoing at the same time that I got into juggling. So I learned how to kind of do everything all at once because I was working at a store in Tallahassee that sold all of this stuff. Right. So we sold yo-yos, we sold spin tops, juggling, balls, rings, clubs, knives. We sold stunt kites. We sold darts. We sold boomerangs. We sold double sticks.
Sounds like a cool store.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I kind of had to learn how to do everything at least well enough to like demo it and sell it. Right. Now, the thing is I was going to like these juggling conventions and, we'd always have a booth at these things. And I got to meet other yo-yo players, and it was rad. And I got to meet a ton of jugglers, and it was great. But when it came down to like actually doing tricks, everything the jugglers did was 10 times bigger. Like the coolest yo-yo tricks, especially at that time, were like this big. It occupied like a 2-foot, square directly in front of your body. It was really small. And everybody was trying to come up with something that was even more intricate and more complicated. And the result is that it was smaller and smaller, and it didn't look good on stage. So everything I was doing at the time, I wanted it to look bigger. I wanted it to look cooler. I wanted it to look more like juggling and actually fill a stage. So it's funny because my biggest influence in yo-yoing, like my number one person who has influenced my tricks over the years, is a juggler named Jay Gilligan, who to my knowledge has never picked up a yo-yo in his life. And it's
just what he could do?
because, it's just because of the way that he juggles. It's the way that he builds his tricks. It's the way he approaches like trick construction. It's the way that he builds his routines. And it's the way that he occupies space on stage. And that has always been like a huge inspiration to me. So instead of looking to other yo-yo players, I didn't want to look like other yo-yo players. I didn't want my tricks to look like other people's yo-yo tricks. So I based my yo-yoing off of a juggler, knowing that would immediately kind of set me off to the side, and it would always point me in the direction of like larger.
Wow. Okay, so I watched this last weekend. I saw the documentary from 2010 about the 2010 World Championships, World on a String. It was amazing. It's an hour long, and it's a reality thing. They follow these people that are doing they're in the yo-yo championships in 2010, and you had a great line. I believe you said that the Yo-Yo Championships are a great place for nerds, jocks, elitists, fashion victims, and drunken buffoons to get together. Do you stand by that still today?
I do stand by that today, and I'd like to add goth kids to that. I think finally we've got an appropriate number of goth kids involved, which means that the music has gotten significantly better, in my opinion.
Damn.
Nice. Okay, so let's go in the Wayback Machine. Were you like some kind of awesome yo-yo guy when you were a kid? How did you get involved in this?
That's the thing. So you're gonna love this. I didn't start until I was 19, and I stumbled into it in probably the worst way possible to get into any endeavor, any career. I was homeless and I needed a job, and somebody said they would give me a job if I knew how to yo-yo and juggle.
What?
So
And you
I'm
never
literally
did
standing.
No pressure.
No. I mean, I had played with the yo-yo for like one summer when I was like 10.
Right.
That was
We
it.
all
you know?
did.
So it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you count a month and a half of experience prior to that, that was all I had under my belt. And so I'm standing there and I'm hungry. I'm tired. I had slipped to under 100 pounds, which for a dude who is 6 foot is not a good look.
Yeah, no shit.
And I was like, fine, I'll fucking learn. So on my way out of the store, I stole a yo-yo, just straight pocketed it,
Yep.
and went back to the roof that I was sleeping on at the time and figured out how to do like a handful of tricks. Because I kind of remembered like, oh, there's like a walk the dog, and then there's like something like rock the baby, and then number one where you catch it back on the string. So I kind of sat, like figured out some tricks, and I went back like a week and a half later and was just like, hey, do you guys still have a job? And they're like, yeah, we still got a job. Didn't we tell you like you need to be able to yo-yo and juggle for this? And I was like, yeah. So I grabbed like 3 juggling balls, and I had spent the last week practicing with like balled up socks. I had 2 pair of balled up socks and a pine cone. And that's what I had been learning how to juggle 3 balls with.
You're 19?
So I was able to like just juggle. Yeah, I was able to juggle and like throw one over the top, and that was it. That was my entire juggling routine. And the guy was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, what about the yo-yoing? And so,
was he busting your balls, or were these
so
legit
I walked
skills?
over to the shelf and grabbed the yo-yo that I had stolen and just like pretend that I'm taking it off the shelf. And I'm like, I'll just use this one here. And I do like 3 tricks and then finished with like, you throw a sleeper and you take it off your finger and you shoot it up into the air. And then you're supposed to catch it in your pocket, but I just like caught it in my hand. And he looks at me and he's like, how the hell did you learn all that? I'm like, I need a fucking job, dude. Like let's do this. Let's go. And so I got a job sitting in the back of his warehouse in Tallahassee, Florida, in no air conditioning in the middle of the summer, assembling yo-yos.
What?
Oh man! And I'm assuming at that point now you're constantly doing tricks and you're doing things to get better.
Yeah, he's putting yo-yos together.
So we would every time we were in between anything, right? So like we were assembling juggling equipment, we were assembling yo-yos, we were doing all kinds of stuff. Every time we had like a pause in anything, it's like, oh, I'm going to take a break, I'm going to stretch my legs. We'd walk into the front of the store and grab something and just start playing with it. Like every single time. And everybody there knew how to do everything. So I got an amazing crash course in object manipulation of all kinds, all forms.
No shit. You must have good eye-hand coordination,
for whatever reason, kind of gravitated towards the yo-yos. Like that was the thing that I like really kind of latched onto. And I got good enough that one day somebody didn't show up for the mall cart that he had, because they had one of those like mall carts that they just set up like for the holidays.
Oh,
sure, yeah.
So somebody just didn't show up. And the thing about those carts that I learned is that if you don't hold to the exact mall hours, you get fined for opening late. And you get fined something like $100 for like every 15 minutes late you open. And this is like 1995, 96. So $100 in 96 is a hell of a lot of money to swallow. So somebody just didn't show up for work one day. Greg, the owner, comes over to me and he's like, "Can you run a cash register?" And I was like, "Sure." Did not. No idea. So I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." He's like, "Here, take this hat." Because at the time, I also had like a 6-inch mohawk.
Nice,
So he's like,
dude.
"Here, take this hat. I'm taking you to the mall." So he drops me off at the mall, hands me the keys to the cart, says it's over by the Sunglass Hut right in front of the Gap. Go. I'm like, great. So I go into the mall, find the cart, open it up, kind of start arranging stuff. And then I give my last $5 to the guy at the Sunglass Hut cart next to me to teach me how to use a cash register.
Pretty resourceful.
Spent.
Hell
and
yeah.
the great thing is it was a mall. There's nobody there first thing in the morning. Like on a Tuesday afternoon, nobody shows up at the mall until later. So I had plenty of time on my hands. So first half hour of the day was this guy teaching me how to use the cash register, wrote down notes and had like a little cheat sheet for myself. And then they had like one of those little TVs with the VCR built into it. I spent the entire day watching instructional videos and just learning more yo-yo tricks, learning more juggling tricks, learning how to do tricks with those little boomerangs that go like 6 feet in a circle and you can catch them.
Do those things actually work?
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with them, but you know, yeah, it's a fun little toy.
Okay, so looking back, was learning all that stuff, now that you think about it, easier or harder than you thought it was going to be, or you know, like when you were getting ready? I mean, did you kind of pick it up? Were you kind of a natural with it?
So it was a great combination of things. One, I did have like kind of a natural aptitude for it, and two, I was just young and dumb enough to not realize that this should be hard. So it was exactly that right flavor of luck and stupidity mixed with genuine skill and interest. And that first day at the cart, like I spent all day just watching instructional videos, learning how to do stuff. The kids all got out of school like around 3:00 and started coming to the mall. Now I was also at that point, I was 19 years old, 19, lanky, mohawk, hanging out, doing yo-yo tricks at the mall. So I was exactly the right age to be like cool older brother kind of territory. So all these kids get out of school, they come, cool older brother is standing there like screwing around with yo-yos and juggling balls. So they come, they hang out. We just stand around. I taught them all like yo-yo tricks. We made fun of the people shopping at the Gap. Like we just, we just hung out.
You
and
were a cool bro, man.
Irritating mall crap that like, all the punk rat kids would do at the mall. And I sold a crap ton of yo-yos. I sold nearly all of the yo-yos they had at the cart. Nice. So Greg comes at the end of the day to help me like, cash out the register and close up. And he shows up and the cart is looking pretty crappy and bare because I also didn't know a damn thing about merchandising. So everything would just sell and then they would just be empty. So he comes, he looks at the cart and he's like, "What the hell happened? Did we get robbed?" And I'm like, "No, sold a bunch of yo-yos." He's like, "What do you mean you sold a bunch of yo-yos?" I'm like, "We sold a bunch of yo-yos." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, the kids came to the cart and I was like, 'Hey, yo-yos are cool. You want to buy a yo-yo?' And they said, 'Yeah.' And then I showed them a trick and then they bought a yo-yo. That's what I was supposed to do, right?" And he was just like, "Son of a bitch, you're hired." So at that point, I was his front of house guy. And I went from like assembling stuff in the back to being the guy like out at the cart the whole time. And then I would work the register at the actual storefront. And then I started like running little local contests with him and doing like school shows in the area to get people to come to the store.
Wow, that's freaking a great story.
Sounds
dude.
like that was a great hire by Mr. Greg.
Man, okay, so now you're working at this little place, and you've worked at giant places. How do you go from this little place to, which I would assume at the time, Duncan Yo-Yo, which is the yo-yo place? How do you get from Tallahassee to Duncan Yo-Yo?
I've always been really good at just saying sure and then figuring it out later. So I managed to get myself into a position where I was actually traveling at this point and going to all the juggling conventions and yo-yo contests to like specifically run a booth for his company, for Greg's company. And I would hang out in yo-yo all day. And at that point I was starting to get tattooed, and everybody who was yo-yoing at that point in time was either 10 years old, 60 years old. That was it. Like that was the gap, right? It was either kids or these old guys that were like holdouts from, literally these guys were Duncan demonstrators back in like the 70s and 80s. So there was no in-between range. So the in-between range was like me and 8 other guys, and that was it. So we were in this amazing position where like we were the only like kind of cool 20 somethings doing this. So it was really easy for us to stand out in the field. And right at that point in time, that was right when ball bearings started becoming like a standard assembly for yo-yos. So yo-yos went from having like wooden axles or like a steel axle and sleeping for like 8 seconds to having a ball bearing axle and sleeping for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh,
So
that's
the equipment
big
had like a
product
huge
improvement.
jump, and we were the cool kids hanging out in the middle. And again, we were all just creative enough to come up with a ton of stuff, and we were all just arrogant enough to not realize how hard any of this was. And we were all exactly the right age to look way cooler than all the old guys, but also be more responsible than the kids. And so we just got handed all the work.
Wow. And then you're at Duncan Yo-Yo, the yo-yo company, right?
So I BS'd my way into a job as a demonstrator for a company called Team Losi, which was like a really like high-end RC car company in California that started making yo-yos during like the big yo-yo craze at the end of the 90s. And I kind of like just BS'd my way into a job working for them, worked for them for like a year and a half or so. And then from there, I started getting offers from all these other yo-yo companies. So there was a company called Super Yo that wanted me to like manage all of their retail operations. And then there was who was it? There was some other company that wanted me to come and just do like touring demonstrations. And then Duncan approached me, and they just wanted me to be a salaried demonstrator on retainer.
So wait,
I
so
was
hold on a
getting
second. You're getting paid. You're getting paid to play with a yo-yo.
I was getting paid to sit home and play video games and wait for somebody to call me to tell me they wanted me to play with a yo-yo.
That's even better. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, this is like a dream come true.
From sleeping on the roof of a building.
The shit
know.
out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Good for you. Good for you.
I mean, I would sit home and just do my girlfriend at the time would come home from work, and I would exact same spot as when she left. And what did you do today? And I'm like, you're looking at it, babe. And I got paid more than you did. Ta-da!
Okay, are you going to contests and winning contests at this time too?
So I never really, I only competed when somebody kind of asked me to. Like it was one of those things that I was never interested in competing. I always wanted to go to the events for the social aspect of it. And I wanted to show off new stuff that I was making up, because I was incredibly prolific at that point in time. Like I said, the equipment had made this huge jump. I was just a hyper creative, hyper focused person. I had all these other artistic influences from outside of yo-yoing that were feeding into my trick creation, and everything I was doing was very, very different from what everybody else was doing at the time. So I was having this like incredibly like creative moment for myself. And again, I was lucky that I came around at a time where it was a blank slate. Like it's easy to be a creative genius when there's literally nothing that happened before you. You know, so
that's got to be harder because there's nothing for you to gauge, right? It sounds the way you're saying it. But when people have only ever seen a white sheet of paper, you can throw anything on it, and people are going to be like, "That's new." You know,
so you're like in the sweet spot, just in the right place at the right time, fill the vacuum. Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Because you're doing, when people are in contests, you're going there and you're doing things for the people who are in the contest, not for the people who are watching, right?
Right.
It kind of reminds me of The Color of Money. Remember Paul Newman? He didn't give a shit about winning the pool tournaments. He gave a shit about basically performing for all the great players, and that's what you're doing. You're not standing up on stage, but you're the people. You're amazing. The people that you are making go, holy shit. These are the greatest people in the world, not just some dumb fucks like us who are just watching people do shit on stage.
Yeah, I mean, I had performer's instincts already. I did a ton of theater like in high school and whatnot, and shout out to my late father. Like he taught me how to hold a room. You know, I had good instincts for it. I was a natural at it. Like, I was more comfortable talking to 100 people than talking to two. So I already had that kind of like, it was very easy for me to like just always be on and like put on a show. And then when you add that to the fact that I wanted to be your favorite yo-yo player's favorite yo-yo player, like that's what I wanted. I wanted all the best yo-yo players in the world to be like, you know, who's my favorite is Steve. I wanted to be that guy that was like, I wasn't interested in being a world champion. I wanted to be the guy that the world champions were like, that guy's got the best tricks.
So that was your target.
That's
So
what I
your
wanted.
target audience wasn't the audience. It was the professionals. That was actually your real target audience, which is actually good. You know, actually, let's just face it, it's a good ego boost. You know, when like the best guys in the world say, "Man, I wish I could wake up tomorrow and be like you."
It is a good ego
Yeah,
boost.
for
It's a great, and it, you know, I was young and super insecure too. So, you know, I was just like, please feed me attention.
Yeah.
God, I need it.
Get
I
that
need it. I need
validation.
it.
Get that validation.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Okay, so
But-
let's go through some things real quick here. How many
Yeah.
different countries has yo-yoing? I mean, I'm assuming you don't. Just let's say this: how many different countries has yo-yoing taking you to?
I've performed in 27 countries and I've been on TV in 24 of them.
Wow.
And that's that's for yo-yoing, right?
I know.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
100% for yo-yoing. I'm certainly not pretty enough to be on TV for anything else.
The yo-yoing is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
Steve, I'm a little bit older than you, but in the 70s, when I was a teenager, yo-yos were fun and cool. I remember a lot of people had them. Those were the old Duncans with the butterflies that lit up and stuff like that. I know I'm
Yeah.
at the prehistoric age there, but there seems like there's a gap in interest there. Like you're talking about the 90s and I'm talking about maybe the 70s. Is there any perspective on that? Is that the evolution from there, or was it just me at my Catholic grade school that I went to?
So I know we're having issues with it. The guest can't hear what you're saying, but in the 70s, we see what he's saying, Steve, is that in the 70s we were playing with yo-yos and it was pretty cool. I mean, is that just the perspective we had at that time? I mean,
Well, I mean, inherently, it's a fun, cool toy. Like it is one of those things that, you know, despite it's really easy to take anything that's, you know, even just a hair off center or anything that's perceived as like being for kids and immediately kind of be like, oh, only nerds like that, you know, oh, that's a kid thing. And then if you're not a kid anymore, you're like, oh, you must be a nerd. But the reality is that it's a really satisfying toy. It is a really satisfying thing to play with. And for me, it has always fallen into that category of things that everyone should know how to do this much. Like I firmly believe everybody should know how to play one song on an instrument. I think everybody should know how to juggle 3 balls. I think everybody should know how to do 2 or 3 yo-yo tricks. I think everybody should know all the words to one song for karaoke. Like just that real kind of baseline, like these are just sort of like the immediate baseline touchstones to not be a lame ass. Like you just need to have
Well, I got some work
just
to
a
do.
little of
Steve,
something.
I got some
Steve's
work to do.
house rules. I like
I
it.
got some work to do.
okay, so you have done movies and TV stuff. So I'm going to go through this really quick. In Zoolander, and I believe this is correct.
Love that movie.
At some point, Owen Wilson is walking on stage in one of his things, and he does about 3 seconds of a yo-yo trick, and that is you, correct?
There's actually, it's right in the beginning of the movie. It's so early.
I remember
in the
that
movie.
scene.
It's-
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
scene.
it's right at the beginning. There's actually 2 spots. One is when he rolls up to the red carpet on that Razor scooter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, which is funny because I shared a trailer on set with the guy who was the Razor scooter double. So
Oh,
it was,
hilarious.
you know, that very first moment of him coming in was me and this other guy. I can't remember his name. I think it was Shane or something. So he jumps off the scooter and kind of like mugs for the camera. And then you see him like kind of doing this. And then the camera cuts down to his hands and he's doing a yo-yo trick. And those are my hands.
Hilarious.
And then there's a second shot inside the MTV Awards. And he's just kind of sitting in the seat. And he's sitting he's sitting like in between Gwen Stefani and some other celebrity. I forget who it was. And he's just kind of sitting there and you can see his like hands are kind of doing like this. And then the camera cuts down and he's doing another yo-yo trick. And that's again, me sitting next to Gwen Stefani yo-yoing.
Ooh, that's when
That's pretty cool.
She was the bomb.com at the time.
Yeah.
No, you're not against the. Oh, okay.
She was not very kind to the people that she perceived as being below her.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's probably a lot of
I've heard
celebrities
that
on you hear about on
before.
set that if they don't consider them their equal or better, they treat them like, and that's too bad. You know?
Okay,
That's
this is
too
just
bad.
looks.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't want to know anything about them personally.
No, I don't care
But,
about them.
I mean,
Yeah, but it's just
But I got to
interesting.
tell you, like Ben. So Ben directed it also.
Ben Stiller
And
Ben
yeah.
Stiller. Yeah.
So he, the very first time that I needed to be on set, he calls over to his AD and he's like, hey, don't we have like a yo-yo guy? And they, somebody yells,
Did
like,
you have
get the yo-yo guy.
you didn't have a name. You were just a yo-yo guy. You were just a thing that could play a yo-yo. You weren't like a person
Well,
to them.
so somebody yells, get the yo-yo guy, and I come over and Ben looks at me and he goes, I'm sure you have a name. What is your actual name? I'm like, yeah, I'm
That's
Steve.
cute. That's cute. He actually acknowledged your existence. That's cute.
Well, and then he called me Steve the entire rest of the time
Good.
that I was on set. Nobody else bothered to learn my name or
Wow.
cared.
No shit. Good story.
And I will say that, like, I know that Ben Stiller has a reputation for being like kind of a hard ass of a director. He addressed every single person on that set from top to bottom by name.
That's good.
Like he knew everybody.
That's good.
And so like working in that, like it was, I mean, I was kind of a one take Jake with it. Like it was one of those things. He's like, can you do something that's about like this? And I was like, okay, do you want this, 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 or this? And he's like, that second one. And they'd roll cameras and then I just nail it. And he's like, shit, I think we got it. I'm like, do you want another one for safety? And he's like, yeah. And I do it exactly the
Nice.
same way.
Nice.
Because I was used to, doing these tricks in like much harder conditions, right?
So this is probably
And
this is probably like a layup for you. I mean, because you're just like doing a very
Yeah.
limited thing. Oh, by the way, is Owen Wilson, is he any cool? Like
Owen Wilson, he was really cool. He was really quiet. He
Okay.
was all the time on set that he wasn't performing, he was reading that like JFK biography, like Fall of Camelot or something
okay.
like that.
All right.
It had just come out at the time, and,
All right.
and he was just like really into that.
Okay.
I interacted a little bit with like Will Ferrell on set. He was really nice.
Yeah,
Mila
that's
Jovovich was really sweet.
Yeah.
Jerry Stiller was a goddamn gentleman. Just
Really?
an absolute gem of a human being.
He
came over.
He was the father in Seinfeld, right? He was he was okay.
Yeah.
I can
And
remember.
King of Queens.
He came over to
Oh,
my
yeah.
trailer while I was like standing out front and just yo-yoing and like killing
Yeah.
time like between takes.
Mm-hmm.
And he came over and just was like, let me see that. Let me see some more of that. And
All
he
right.
just chatted with me
Yeah.
about it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And,
that's good.
he was just like, oh, I'm so glad to have you here. This is really cool. Thank you.
No, that's good.
Wow,
good. I'm
dude,
glad
that's
I'm
another
glad- I'm
great
glad you had that
story.
experience.
Okay,
Yeah,
so a few years later, you
Yep.
are doing and this is no slight on you. One of the worst movies of all time, The Lone Ranger. They ruined.
Yep.
They destroyed. Johnny Depp destroyed The Lone
Yeah,
Ranger. We all
yep,
saw
yep,
it. We
yep,
all saw
yep,
it.
yep.
But you taught Tom Wilkinson a pocket watch stunt. Is that
Yep.
right?
So this was a great gig because I literally just happened to answer the phone on a Sunday when nobody else was picking up. And they called like 15 different like yo-yo players that they were able to get contact info for. I'm just the guy who answered the phone. And they were basically like, hey, we're working on this movie and we've got an actor that needs to do a trick with a pocket watch. It's kind of similar in size to a yo-yo. Do you think that you could come up with tricks for a pocket watch? So, in keeping with my business motto up to that point, I just said, sure. And, and then the next day I
motto.
went to a bunch of antique
love it.
malls
My
and
mission
bought a couple of
statement.
Just a grid,
pocket
just for
watches.
everything. Yep.
Yeah. And then just spent like a few days coming up with a handful of tricks with a pocket watch. So I came up with like 8 or 9 different like moves, and just put them on video and sent them off to him. And then they flew me out to LA like 2 weeks later, at some point. Like, I think they were doing like a bunch of costume tests and everything. And so, Gore Verbinski was the director and he wanted to see me like do the tricks in person so he could pick one. So they flew me out, stand around while everybody's busy working. They bring me over, they introduce me. He's like, all right, let me see what you got. And I do like 6 different tricks. And he's like, I like that one a lot. I'm like, that one's going to be a real pain in the ass for anybody but me to hit. What about this one? And I kind of modified it like on the spot and was like, how about this? And he's like, yeah, that's perfect. That's great. and then I left. Like that was it. They flew me out to LA to show this guy what was on the video, but show it to him in person and then leave.
Who did the actual move with the pocket watch?
The actor Tom Wilkinson did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he just watched the video and figured it out himself?
Wow. Okay. I mean, that is.
So there was, well, actually, I had to teach Tom how to do it. Tom was like the main character that did it. But I also had to teach Johnny how to do it. And Johnny didn't want to be bothered with it at all. Like, did not care, was not interested. I was
kind of the
supposed
way
to
he
be.
acted in that movie. Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to be on set for like a week and a half to teach them how to do this. I ended up being there for like a month and change.
Nice.
Because nobody could get Johnny to like devote the time to it. And this is still to this day one of the most infuriating things in the world that's ever happened to me. So I'm standing here, I'm waiting, I'm blowing weeks of time, I'm blowing their money. They're paying me to be there. They're paying for daycare for my kids while I'm gone. Like they're paying for me to eat, they're paying for me to stay somewhere. Finally, like weeks later, get his attention. He comes over, he's like, all right, so show me the thing. And I show him the thing and he's like, let me see it again. And I show it to him and I go, okay. And I start walking him through, like teaching him how to do it. He's like, no, I got it. And he turns around and he leaves. And I'm like, son of a bitch, are you kidding me? Like weeks, and that's all I get. And then the next day, they shot the one scene where he does it, hit it on the first goddamn try on horseback.
He's actually a pretty talented guy.
On horseback.
On horseback.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen,
amazing. Yeah.
I saw it. I saw the thing that he did, and I'm just like, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're going to tell us a story where you spent weeks trying to teach this jag off how to do this, and he didn't do, and he one take.
Yeah. Was that before the Pirates of the Caribbean series?
Yeah, I
before
think
that?
so.
Yeah.
I think that was. Yeah.
No, it was after because that whole movie got
that's right.
greenlit on the strength of
because he was a
Gore
big.
Verbinski did the first two Pirates.
Yeah, because he was a big deal at that point, and before he got canceled. Well, he got punished. He made Amber Heard. So
it is what it is, and that's all that
that's
it
great.
is. Okay,
Steve, you got like a book in you. You've got to with
Yeah.
the stories and chapter. I mean, we sat here for half an hour listening to you, and I could just keep going.
Yeah,
have you ever
cool.
thought about writing a book or?
It's funny. I got approached by somebody to write a book, and I wrote him a sample chapter, and the editor sent me a nice email back saying they thought I was lying.
That you were making it up.
What?
Yeah,
What?
they were like,
What?
"This is
Right,
bullshit.
right.
This is nonsense. This person did not do any of this."
I mean, couldn't they? Wouldn't you?
That makes
wouldn't
a
you
great
wanna
fucking
see,
book.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to see the book and then at least fact check some of this? Sir, you were on the moon when you did this. You know what? Yeah, I was. Yeah. Oh, was it? Might have been Mars. I don't remember.
I mean, I let off. I think I let off with too big of a story because instead of coming telling them about the time I was in the movie. I led off with a story where I was doing yo-yo shows in Malaysia and got mistaken for Chinese triad at like an outdoor market and had to flee the market before I got assaulted.
See, there we go. That's
Okay.
fucking awesome,
Okay.
man.
All right. So Steve, you could be confused for a lot of things, but as I'm looking at you right now, and I hopefully some of the people are going to check out some videos of you.
Yeah.
Chinese triad, huh?
Chinese triad or Japanese yukaza does not
They
resemble
did
you.
not assume I was Chinese, but when I showed up in the market, like
with all
covered
the
in
tattoos
tattoos,
and stuff.
they assumed that I had been sent there by them to check on
Right.
on their investment or whatever.
I see.
So everybody was immediately very nervous and scared of me, and then people started trying to give me like money and free gifts.
No shit,
And
dude.
a
That's
friend of mine,
awesome.
my friend of mine who speaks Malay and was like local, was like talking to them. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then they explained it, and he was like, "We need to get out of here like now."
Wow.
And
Because
so we
you'd
had
be
to,
taken
like,
as an
run and book it out of
impersonator.
there.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the yo-yo championships. Okay. They restarted up in 1992. Okay, and you've been part of this. When did you get started doing in the federation?
I mean, I started participating just in the contests, just as like a competitor, starting in 1996, and then it was around 2014 that we formed the IYYF, and at that point, from I think it was 90. I want to say from about 1996 until 2014, Greg Cohen, the same guy who ran the kite store that hired me initially, was just running the contest. It was just him. There was no like larger organization or anything. He just kind of took it on and was like keeping it going every year. So in like 2014, we formed the International Yo-Yo Federation with the idea of having a larger group of people involved in it and getting the contest to actually move around the world. So at this point, it's currently been on like a rough like 3-year rotation where it goes between North America, Europe, and Asia. And this has opened up like a ton more participation from a lot of people who just can't afford, heavy international travel, especially because it's like a 3 or 4 day contest. So you've got to be gone for like a week, and for the top competitors, like a lot of them are young kids, 16, 17 years old. So that's a lot of money to be able to do that. So having the contest move has actually made it way more accessible to a lot of those kids.
Yeah. So Orlando was 2 years ago, right? Is that
no? So Orlando was basically like 1995 through 2014. It was there every single year.
I saw that on the website. It was in Orlando forever, and then it just started to go.
So where were you in 2 years ago in North America? Where were you guys?
North America. Since the IOF took over, North America has been in Cleveland.
Cleveland, that's it. So you went to Cleveland, then you went, last year you guys were in Prague.
Yep.
That's a big switch. That's
okay.
A big
and now this year you're going to be in Japan. Okay. How many people are participating and how many people are watching this? How many people go to see this?
So it's very different based on where it is. So in the U.S., like when I was holding it in Cleveland, we'd have between 200 and 230 competitors, but we would have like a solid 1,500 to 2,000 spectators every day. In Japan, it's less spectator oriented, but much higher competitor. So they'll have 400 to 500 competitors in Japan. And same when we did it in China and Shanghai, they had like 480 competitors in Shanghai. Japan usually tops out around like 390 or 400. You get like half that in the US, but you get way more spectators. And in Japan, it's way more competitors and just yo-yo players that are there to kind of hang out.
Are people watching this on this? Are they streaming this or watch on the Ocho? I mean,
there's usually the Ocho. There's pretty much always a live stream, and sometimes there are like larger partners. In Japan, I think in Osaka in 2023, they had like some massive streaming partner. So they had something like 50,000 people watching the live stream throughout the course of the
awesome.
weekend.
That is awesome.
Wow. Okay, so when they're doing this, and again, I watched just very short things. I watched that documentary. Is it like ice skating? Are there certain things you have to do, and then you can do whatever you want? Like, are there like preliminary requirements that you have to do? But then are they looking for like crazy things that you can do?
So it's funny you mentioned the ice skating because the scoring system for scoring yo-yo freestyles started almost identical. It basically started with the ice skating scoring system, and then we evolved it and kind of adapted it. But there used to be compulsory requirements, same as ice skating, and you would have to. Those weren't even part of the freestyle. You would literally have to just stand in front of a judge, and they would shout out a trick name, and you'd have to just do it first try. To prove like competency, and it was nerve-wracking and horrible and a terrible judge for like how good you are.
Sure.
It was, it was like the difference between knowing something and being able to talk about it and taking a standardized test. Like it just screwed with people's morale. So that eventually kind of went by the wayside. And what happened is the freestyle changed into 4 different rounds of competition. There's the wild card, which is 30 seconds. There's prelims, which is a minute, semifinals, which is a minute and a half, and then finals, which is 3 minutes. So if you win like a national competition, you can get seeded to a later rounds. You can skip some of that. But wild card, like anybody can show up the day of the contest and compete in wild card. And it is a 30-second routine, and it is a meat grinder. Like you'll get through 300 people in like the course of an afternoon, and like, there's not even any spectators allowed because it's so fast. Like the kid walks up and they have like predetermined music. So there's literally there's 50 different tracks you can choose from. You walk up, they confirm your name, you tell them the track number, the music starts, 30 seconds, go, boom. All right, goodbye, next. And then they just like churn through them because it's so many people they have to get through. And the judges burn out. It's exhausting to judge that.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of
because
focus.
the judges these kids have spent all year preparing for this, you know, and it's like a huge weight to kind of be the person in charge of deciding whether or not they go through. So the judges take it really seriously, and it's exhausting.
And what is it? Just like you on a scoring system, 1 through 5. If you're 5 or 4, you're in. If you're 3 or below, you're not in.
So how do they score that?
So they're scored on. There's like a huge list of criteria, and like certain elements are weighted heavier. But
I see.
The basis of it is that there's technical ability and then there's performance. So you're scored on the originality of the tricks, the degree of difficulty, the level of technical execution, like how cleanly did you hit it, you know, unique elements, how many different unique elements were, you know, spread through the routine.
Jesus, in 30
stage
seconds?
usage, music cues, like all that stuff.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's get a couple of things here because we've got to get to Steve, I didn't tell you this, but there will be a yo-yo quiz that you will be taking against these two goofs. And
okay.
I don't want to put any pressure on you, but if you don't beat them handily, you will be judged. But let me ask you this. Who is the best yo-yoer? You cannot say yourself. Who is the best yo-yoer you have ever seen?
Oh, man. This is one of those things that I bristle at because, like, the idea of quantifying. Okay,
who's someone that if right now you're saying, listen, this is who I want to see. This is if I was going to have to sit there and watch somebody do 3 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever. This is the person I'd like to see doing it.
I mean, one of my favorites of all time was a player named Jason Lee. He was just easily one of the smoothest and most original yo-yo players I've ever seen. Guy Wright is another one who just everything that guy did was inspiring to me. And one of the players like on the team that I currently sponsor, his name's Anthony Rojas, and his yo-yoing looks like juggling, and I just absolutely love it. Can't stop watching it.
Okay, yo-yos at the Olympics. Is this something that could happen?
I hope not.
That is not at all what I thought you would say.
Yeah, I'm real unpopular with a lot of people for saying that. But I feel the same way about yo-yoing in the Olympics that a lot of skaters felt about the X Games. Like, we're just here to do this, and we don't need your approval, and we certainly don't need your costumes and your rules.
Oh,
yeah, because it's like too commercialized at that point, right? You kind of take out it's too almost like a sterile. Yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, I think yo-yoing, competitive yo-yoing is too young. Like, really, I mean, like every year we're still tweaking and fine tuning the scoring systems. Like, you know, these things have only been in place for 20 some years at this point. Like, I think that trying to codify it to like that level of like an Olympic level, I think that's just ridiculous. I don't think yo-yoing is anywhere near ready for that.
Okay, but everybody else, a lot of other people think so, and there's an actual push for it. Is that right?
I mean, a lot of other people think Coldplay is good, but like it doesn't mean they are.
Don't you know what? And don't be that guy that makes fun of Nickelback. I actually like Nickelback. Okay,
well played.
So here, let's get to our quiz. I'm going to throw a little something out at you, and we'll see if Steve knew this. In 1933, yo-yos were banned in Syria. Did you know that, Steve?
Correct. That is correct. And
Yeah.
I actually have a photocopy of the news article where they talk about it.
Yeah, they were blamed. Using them was blamed for a severe drought.
They blamed a drought on use of yo-yos.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, you have zero chance to answer
That
this
is
question.
freaking awesome,
if Steve
man.
knows, listen to me. If Steve knows that bit of insane trivia, then everything else Everything else is not gonna. You guys are
just setting us
you
up
guys
for
are
failure,
dead.
Ted.
Okay, Steve, this is how it works. You have to answer last because these guys will copy your answers because they are not stupid. They might be drunk, but they are not stupid. Okay. Again, you will be judged on how many you get correct, and if these guys beat you, I will be sending you an email once a week, letting you and reminding you that you lost to them. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's a setup there,
Fair.
Teddy.
That's
Okay,
fair.
here we
Dang.
go. How much was the most expensive yo-yo ever made? The most expensive yo-yo ever made. How much did it cost? And I will tell you this, it was a diamond-studded 24-karat yo-yo created by a company called Offset. How much did it cost? Teddy, you can go first.
$250,000.
Okay, Scott?
I'm gonna go $750,000.
Jesus God Almighty. Steve, how much? Oh, man.
Offset is owned and operated by a player in Australia named Brandon Vu. He's a super nice guy.
You are screwed, guys.
If I remember correctly. So here's the thing. Technically, I think that yo-yo was somewhere around 10 grand, but it's only the most expensive yo-yo produced for sale. The yo-yos that were manufactured to beat the world record for largest functional yo-yo cost significantly more than that to produce, but they were not available for sale. So it kind of depends.
The judges are asking for an answer, Steve. Yes. And with this good bullshittery, but we need an answer. How much?
I think it
it
was
worth?
somewhere, it was right around like 10 grand, I believe.
$100,000.
So
No, I don't think it was actually.
I
sale,
found it on the internet.
Yeah.
It has to be true, Steve. It has to be true.
if it's on the
It's
internet,
distinctly,
it's
I
true.
mean, Brandon loves that kind of clickbait stuff, so I would not be totally surprised by that, but I don't pay attention that much, so.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will say this: CLYW, the Peak, sells between $3,000 and $4,000. Does that sound about right?
Yes, the original hand-painted peak.
Hand painted yo-yos that cost between $3,000 and $4,000. Okay, this one's easy. Steve, if you get this one wrong, we're going to be very disappointed. But you go last. Ted.
Oh, he's got one.
No. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh.
This is the hand-painted
Ooh,
peak
that's nice.
from the original run of 50. This one is
What the
number
fu-
16.
That looks nice.
Number 16.
Wow, that's cool. It's number
How'd you come into that?
Yeah, where'd you get that from?
Actually, this one
Who'd you kill to
I-
get it, Steve? Just tell us.
I
stole
was
it like the
offered
last
one
one.
of the original hand painted ones from the guy who started the company, and I actually turned it down at the time because I felt bad. I was like, "No, you go sell your yo-yos. You need to make some money. You're a brand new company." So this one I actually bought a few years ago off of a friend of mine who was liquidating his collection, and I was like, I need to pick one of those up.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Very
here,
cool.
let's get it. Let's get it out. How many yo-yos you got in your house right now? Rough estimate.
Probably right around 3,000.
And my question is, what is your favorite or most cherished yo-yo? If I had to ask you,
That one I can tell you without hesitation. It is a handmade yo-yo with a magnesium body that is covered in leather.
wow,
It was made in Japan by a guy named Shinobu Kon. And he made one originally for like the World Yo-Yo Modding Contest. And me and a few of my friends were just like went nuts for it. And then the next year he showed up with 5 of them and gave them to us as gifts.
oh, that's nice of
Are you
him.
freaking
So
kidding?
there's only 6 of these in existence. Each one takes about a week and a half to make. And the leather gains a patina over time from the oils on your hands. And it is the prettiest yo-yo I own. It plays great. I asked him once if he would make more for me, and he quoted me $6,000 a pop. And I said, thank you, but no.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the quiz, though. Let's get back
Is
to
that
the
a ball
quiz.
bearing model
right.
with that one? Is that
ball bearing? Is that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all these are ball bearing axles. Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
it's all ball bearings. I think Fletch told us that, right?
I've never done a yo-yo with ball bearings.
It's all ball bearings. Okay, First yo-yo sold in the United States. Steve, you got to wait. Ted, first yo-yo sold in the United States.
What are you looking for? A year?
A year.
Okay, I'm not going to say it's depression. I'm going to say pre-World War II, so I'm going to say 1936.
Okay, excellent choice.
I'm going to say 1919.
Okay, Steve? Oh, man. Are you? Oh, man.
He doesn't care.
Filipino immigrant Pedro Flores.
Okay,
is the
correct.
One credited.
Correct.
Is the one credited as having the first official production yo-yo company in the United States.
And yet that isn't the question that was asked. It was
no,
when.
he started it in, I believe, 1927.
1928 was the answer we were looking for, but that's close enough. 1 year, we'll give it to you. Okay, excellent. How many yo-yos, Scott, you're going first here. How many yo-yos are sold worldwide every year?
Worldwide?
Worldwide.
I'll say 4.5 million.
4.5 million. So we'll just round it to 5. Teddy, how many yo-yos are sold worldwide every year?
It's kind of a niche market. I know it's popular, so I'm going to say worldwide. I'm going to say 1.875.
Okay, Scott, Steve, how many yo-yos are sold every year?
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Ooh. Do, 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 do. I mean, you have to have a better guess than these guys, so don't worry about it. Anything you guess is better than, what'd you guys say?
1.8,
5 million and 2 million?
I said 1936 for the year, so I mean, I was kind of close. I was only off by...
Yeah, there's like 5 billion people in
I
the
said
planet.
1919. I was only off by 9 years.
No, both of those were very good. I had no idea when I looked at it.
Okay.
I would have guessed like in the 60s. So, yeah, I just wouldn't have guessed.
You think everything happened in the 60s.
But, Steve, we will need an answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's it varies so much.
Yeah, it's the average number. It's the average number. Wow, you are an excellent staller. I can see where you really...
He's looking at the internet right now.
No, I'm looking at
Googling
him.
on
He's
his
not
phone.
looking at the internet.
So worldwide, not just U.S.
Worldwide. Look at that is a great stall. You're talking about worldwide. You mean the whole world, or half the world, or 3/4?
Talking about War of the Worlds. Orson Welles.
Are you talking just this world?
I'm going to guess around 12 million.
45 million
Wow.
yo-yos are sold every year.
Wow.
That seems optimistic.
Well, I mean,
How many? 45?
hold on. You have how many
No,
yo-yos
but I mean-
at your house right now?
Well, but here's the thing: is most of the companies producing yo-yos are private companies that don't release those sales numbers. Believe me, some of these I've been chasing for years. Like, I would love to know how many yo-yos Aldi is producing in China, but I can't get those numbers.
Okay. All right. I have 2 more questions. Let's just hope you guys do a better job. Okay. The world's largest functioning yo-yo was built by Beth Johnson in 2012. How big is the world's largest functioning yo-yo? And I will give you a hint if you want one. It is operated using a crane.
What?
So we're talking about the circumference, or how are we measuring this?
Yeah,
Diameter?
the diameter. Or you could give me diameter or weight. If you guess either one of those, if you could get anywhere close to either the diameter or weight, you're in.
All right. If it's operated by a crane, I'm going to say
Diameter.
750 pounds.
Okay, that's what you're going with pounds, Scott.
It's like our whip guy with the longest whip or something.
Will you be going? Would you go with diameter or would you be going with pounds?
I'll go with pounds, and I'll say 1,500 pounds.
Excellent, Steve. And we can't have a stall this time.
Yeah, I can't go with pounds because I have no gauge for that. So the one that held the record before that one, I've actually seen. It's actually at the National Yo-Yo Museum in Chico, California, and I've stood next to it, and it was probably 6 feet. It was like it was just an arm's. I'm going to say this one was probably right around 12 feet in diameter.
12 feet. Holy shit.
Are you ready? It is 12 feet in diameter, and it weighs 4,620 pounds.
That's 2 tons.
Wow.
That's
So both of that one and the one before it, they had to be launched from cranes, and every single time someone has tried to do that, the first attempt, it has snapped and like it has been absolutely bedlam.
Killed millions.
I know the first one, Tom Kuhn did it, and they launched it over the San Francisco Bay, and it immediately, the rope snapped, it went into the water, and they had to send divers in to retrieve it.
Jesus Christ.
At taxpayers' expense, by the way.
I thought the crane
There's
would
an
like tip
amazing
over.
black and white photo of some
Yeah.
guy in full scuba gear pushing a yo-yo through the water, and
Oh
it is
my God.
That's funny.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, last question. Okay. The name yo-yo is derived from the Ilocani language from the Philippines. This is multiple choice. Does yo-yo mean come, come, bounce, bounce, here, or fun, fun? Teddy, you're first. Come, come, bounce, bounce, here, fun, fun.
I'm going to say here.
Okay.
Bounce, bounce.
Bounce, bounce. Steve?
It means come.
It means come, come.
Oh, yeah, because you're pulling it up.
'Cause you're
Yeah,
pulling
yep,
it back.
Yep.
Wow. All right, Steve, you won hands down.
Yeah.
And if you guys go look on YouTube, there is, when I was with Duncan Yo-Yos, we released a DVD that was like the first national Filipino yo-yo contest that had been held there in forever. Me and a few other people went there to actually run the contest. And one of the things we did when we were there is we met with the head of the Indigenous Sports and Games Commission of the Philippines to talk to him about the history of yo-yo in the Philippines. So you can dig that up on YouTube and you can see like a great interview with him talking about the history of the yo-yo in the Philippines.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a Filipino, that word originally from the Philippines. I was thinking like Chinese or something, like, the violinist Yo-Yo Ma. That's what I was thinking. I didn't think it was a Filipino thing.
Oldest yo-yo is 450 BC Greece.
Oh.
And it moved around the world a fair bit. And Philippines was the last stop before it came to the United States.
Okay. Interesting.
And Pedro Flores is the guy who actually invented the slip string, where everything prior to that, the string was just tied to the axle. They called it like pegged to the axle. He's the one that figured out if you could just untwist it and form a loop so that the yo-yo sits in it, then the yo-yo will actually spin at the end of the string. And that's the basis of literally all modern yo-yo tricks.
Okay.
All right.
Did not know that.
And Steve, we do this all the time with our guests. We give you a free gift. This is free. You can use it. We don't want any credit for anything. It's just a free idea. But I know you guys are having your yo-yo federation. You have your contest. Here's a contest, okay? And if it works,
Does it
we'll
have to
just
do
take a
with
T-shirt.
people
No.
drinking
No,
or
no.
debauchery?
No, there's no. This
Okay.
is real.
Okay.
Yo-yo fights. Okay? Maybe you have like studded yo-yos or sharpened yo-yos. Competitors fight until like the end, like give up, they're cut, they're whatever. But literally yo-yo fights, I think, me personally, that this would be phenomenal. It would increase viewership by tens of thousands based on some of the sports that are going on. That is free for you to use. If you decide to do it, it's all yours.
Already been done.
Damn it! Oh man!
So what we do is we call it a yo-yo knife fight. And do you remember? I want to say it was like maybe West Side Story or something, but like where the guy's hands were tied together,
Yeah.
and then they had knives in the other hands, and they're like fighting.
Oh, yeah.
So we do that with yo-yos, where you'll have two hands like tied together, but then the other hand you've got the yo-yo, and the object is you have to throw a trapeze over the other guy's arm and land it. And the first person to do that wins.
Is
And
there
it
any
is
blood, or
ridiculously
I mean, does anybody go down? I mean, is there...
Everybody gets hurt because
Excellent.
when you're trying to throw a trapeze over the arm of somebody who's actively fighting you, everybody gets rope burn, everybody gets cut, everybody bleeds, and then you also just keep getting hit in the knuckles with the yo-yo. People get hit in the face. It's one of those things that started off as like, this will be kind of fun, and it just turned into a bloodbath.
Can't wear a shirt, no protective gear. Let's go.
Oh yeah, no. I've seen the people doing yo-yos. You want them wearing shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do. These are people you do not want shirtless. You want more clothing. More clothing is
that
better.
impacts with the cuts and the hits and bruises.
Oh man. Okay. Well, you know what, Steve? If you have that on your deal, then I'm in. Yeah, I will definitely. I'm definitely going to watch. I'm watching 2026 in Japan for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
that
good
is
time.
what, August. That's middle August.
Yeah, it's August, I believe, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay, and if people want to get to it on the internet, they can just Google International Yo-Yo Federation. They'll find out all the information.
The website's,
Yeah, if you
the
go to
website's really good.
iyyf.org, that's the main website for the Yo-Yo Federation, and then the contest website is just World Yo-Yo Contest I think it's .org. I forget. Stick with IYYF. Just go to the IYYF website, and you can find everything there.
Oh man! Listen, thank you so much for being on. I knew when we talked weeks ago that you'd be the perfect guest, and man, I love the story. I mean, the concept of you being, homeless, living on a roof, and then, I mean,
all the stories are amazing.
Well, then they go like the top of the profession.
Well, 26 countries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing.
Consider the
Thank
book.
you so
Steve.
much. Yeah,
Consider the book.
You got it. You got to really rethink that.
Yeah,
book.
kudos.
I
Well
mean,
done. Yeah.
Forget
I
the other publisher.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
yeah.
It's been a really wild ride, and I honestly owe everything to the kindness of the yo-yo community. It's a really unique and welcoming group of people, and they've my entire life, my family, my kids, like everything that I have now, I can trace everything good in my life back to yo-yos.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And
is
Andy's
awesome.
humble.
That's
Good for you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
Love it.
Kudos.
Thank you so much. Good luck with the World Championships, and we'll be in touch. All right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you.
Great meeting you,
All right,
Steve.
take
Take
care.
care, man.
All right, be well.
Oh man,
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
I'm telling you, that's the thing that blew me away. I'm talking to him a month ago, and we're bullshitting, and I'm like, oh, so you were one of those yo-yo guys? He goes, oh no, man. He goes, I didn't have a job, man. He goes, I was homeless, and I got
At 19.
this gig. He goes, and it was
We had to earn it. I mean, they didn't just
yeah.
give it to him. He had to prove himself and all that
Yes,
stuff.
he had
Yeah,
to
so-
steal a yo-yo and then teach
Yeah.
himself tricks to get a job
Yeah.
at the place where he stole the yo-yo.
I mean, but let's face it. I mean,
That's awesome.
I mean, this sounds like an Oliver Twist type story, but I mean, obviously,
does. It
obviously,
does.
he must have been naturally talented because, like I said, it's like if I stole a yo-yo when I was 19,
No.
I wouldn't be able to go just because I had a yo-yo when I was a kid, and all I could do was just make the yo-yo go down like this, and then come up and like hit the palm of my hand, and it would just get tangled up, and I drop it, so I could never advance past anything.
no,
Past
you,
that.
you know what
So-
that you know what made him a great yo-yoist? It was that, or don't eat.
Yeah.
That's that motivation. I'm telling you, man. When you get to that point where it is, what do you say? 6 foot tall, 100
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah.
When dinner relies on you doing this, that's your motivation.
Right, but you have to be naturally good at it. It's like saying if I was 19 and said, well, okay, if you don't practice basketball and you don't be a starting point guard in the NBA in the next 6 months, you're not going to eat. Well, guess what? I'd starve to death because I'm not going to be,
Yeah, you would.
Exactly.
But there's probably here. I'll tell you what. I'll bet you somewhere in the NBA there's a guy.
Yeah.
All right. In hockey, we're watching hockey playoffs, watching NBA
Yeah.
playoffs, watching all this stuff. There's a guy, right, or a girl that was the end. That was the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was either become good at doing this thing,
Yeah.
or you're not gonna live, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
moms of this, dads of that, families this.
Yeah.
If you don't get a college scholarship to do whatever,
Yeah. Well, that's
then-
the best
then you got
motivation.
nothing.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
ain't gonna eat.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you still have to be naturally good at it. You can't just be like, you can't just say, well, I really want to do this or else something bad's going to happen. You still have to actually be kind of good at it.
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
His,
I don't
his
think so.
business model was, sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
You
That's-
didn't know?
No,
And
actually-
fear is a major motivator.
So on a side note, I actually read something very similar what he was saying. Basically, it says even if you have no experience at a job, just say yeah, I can do it, and then just figure it out once you get there. Because if you say I don't have the experience, you're never going to get hired anyway. So you might as well just say yeah, and then just because once you're in, it's like getting into Harvard. You might not be smart enough, but once you're there, it's probably no different than any other college, right? It's like going to Northeastern or something. It's just the hard part's just getting in, right?
I love it. I
One
love
plus
it.
one still
Yep.
equals 2. What is it?
Just let him go. Just
I'm
let him go.
100%
It's
sure
different
that
at
that's
Harvard?
not. I'm 100% sure that was not what he was talking about.
I'm just trying to give an analogy.
But no, I mean, you know what?
Take the job and get fired, or say no, I can't do it, and not get the job to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, just you know what? I mean, maybe the best thing you can ever tell somebody is what Steve said. Sure.
Yeah, just say, yep, got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And then just YouTube it.
Yeah, but I mean, and what's the worst that happens, right? I mean, he wasn't going to be more homeless.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
wasn't going to be more hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
True
Right.
that, true that.
I mean, and maybe he just says sure to something
Yeah,
else.
I mean, he had the winning formula,
And his
yeah.
next coming was when he sold that stuff at retail and learned how to bond with those kids and sold the yo-yos. And the guy's like, "Holy shit, you're in!"
well, you heard him say his dad helped him, control a room. I mean, once you're good,
He's a performer. He's a performer.
Yeah, once you're able to, right, like
Captivate
be comfortable,
captivate
standing in
people.
front of a group of people, right? I mean, and that's the play right there. Once you're able to do that, I mean, the world is your oyster. You can do anything.
Yeah. Okay, you ever been to the mall? So I never saw like yo-yo sales at the mall, but remember they used to have that like styrofoam plane where the guy would throw the plane and it would go all the way across the mall, then come back to him.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the only reason people bought that plane is because the expertise of that guy. Because if he was just standing there holding the plane, you would never buy it. But then you're just like, oh, he could do it. And then, so it's like him.
And you take it home and break it immediately?
Yeah, I do it. I throw it and it like hits the wall and like the propeller breaks off. Yeah,
That's so
it's the
true,
same thing.
especially those mall carts.
Yeah.
They got the little dog that flips or, little thing. Or
but you got the professional who's actually doing the trick with it because you wouldn't buy the item if you didn't see the professional doing it. Because I guarantee the only reason they bought that yo-yo is because he was the one performing the tricks. And then you're thinking, well, I could almost do the same thing. Because if it was just sitting there and nobody was using the yo-yo, nobody would buy it.
He was teaching them the tricks, and then they're like, "Shit, yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I'm telling you, man. Food is a hell of a motivator.
Yeah.
It is number one. All right. Wow, that went on for a long time.
Yes.
So we got no time for anything. There's not going to be a Scott Standard. No last thoughts. We'll just we'll just finish it up.
Yes.
Right. Fuck you.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah. We got a bar to get to.
Yeah.
Beers are $1 off. Right. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
I told Scott, I said, man, Howard Street must love the fact that we go there every Tuesday because on my social media feed it said drafts are $1 off, and then it said underneath it said fuck Ted. Okay, so let's just do this. We have no guests coming up for a couple of weeks, so it's just gonna be us bullshitting. Okay. I think the next person that we're gonna have is the tomato guy. So yeah,
Tomato guy?
you say tomato. Yeah, you say tomato. I say pasta sauce.
It's a fruit.
That doesn't sound super exciting, but
It's,
okay.
Do you know the? Well, you do know the tomato of the year because I told you. But listen, everything is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Everything is what it is. Everybody's got a story. Who knows? Maybe he became a tomato guy because he wasn't eating and he needed to eat something, and tomatoes were what he's going to eat. Okay. I don't know. But here's what I'm going to say: keep listening, keep enjoying, and we will see everybody next week.